That theme song is a bop. I gotta say, I am very pleased with this intro of Married to Medicine. Yeah, I'm doing these reviews back to back, y'all. So I thought I'd just, throw a little chain on to give a little differentiation between these videos. But yes, let's get into the episode. So we're doing the normal long intro that we have to see what all the ladies are doing across Atlanta. So then we get to Dr. Simone and her son driving her around. Her son has really become like the seventh cast member of this show. Like, he's in a lot of scenes. And they're basically just talking about him getting ready to go to college. Child, are we really in Bed Bath & Beyond right now as we see her shopping for his dorm? I don't want to see this. I mean, I'm happy for her son, but fast forward. Her son is definitely all in these confessionals with his large, very white teeth. I'm not complaining, I think it's great, but can we get back to the main cast? Well, I'm glad I didn't fast forward too much because Simone is talking to her son about organizing a basketball game between the adults and the kids. And it's going to be taking place at Heavenly's house. Really? Wasn't she just not fucking with Heavenly? Wow. But she's still not speaking to Jackie though. Okay. But yeah, it looks like she's going to be inviting everybody, including Jackie, to this game. I really am mystified by the fact that she's cool with Heavenly first before Jackie. So next scene, we're with the new cast member Anila and her husband, and they're showing her parents how the construction of their house is coming along. And her parents are super judgmental. Basically, every room in the house they're showing them, it's a piece of shit to them. It's literally like every room they walk into, her mom is like, "What are you doing? This is ugly. I don't get it. Where's the balcony?" That wasn't offensive too much, was it? So overall, her parents are not that impressed. And her poor husband, it seems like he has patience of steel though for her parents. So it looks like they've both had enough of her mom's opinions, and they basically tell her like, look, it's our house. And before it gets into an argument, her dad wants to speak with her one-on-one while her husband shows her mom more of the house. And she just says how frustrated she is right now. I noticed that a lot of people on Twitter were saying they were doing their best acting in this scene. I can kind of see it. But yeah, this is what's going on right now. The typical opinionated mother-in-law that's driving the family insane. All right, so next scene we're with Dr. Jackie at her practice, and apparently this patient was masturbating while pregnant and her water broke at the same time? Wow, and she said it was the best orgasm she's ever had. Well, that's not my ministry, so we're gonna move right on along. And now we're talking about clitoral tears in vaginal birth. We are moving right along, people. We are moving right along. So next scene, we're at Toya's, and it looks like her husband Eugene is off, the kids are away, and she wants to take a bubble bath during the day. And unfortunately, we have to see it. Her and Eugene naked in a bubble bath. I'm very surprised that they can both fit in it, you know? That must be a pretty large tub. So as they're in the tub, Eugene decides to confront Toya on her attitude lately. Like, she's definitely been snapping at him as well as a lot of people, normally under intoxication, but I think she's sober when she snaps at him. And he's saying that like he doesn't want to be one of those yes'em husbands, like kind of like how Heavenly has trained her husband to be. So he wants to not be that meek husband that has this controlling wife. And of course, Toya takes it how we think she does. So instead of Toya actually acknowledging her husband's feelings, actually listening to him, she starts to just flirt with him in the tub, and then, I'm pretty sure we know what happened next, and thank God we are on to the next scene. All right, so next scene we're with Heavenly and her son, and this is a best fiends moment. I'm glad that her son is doing well, got his real estate license, but ooh, don't care. And now they're getting into a staged conversation of what Black Lives Matters means. I mean, I'm here for the cause, but this is not why I'm watching this show, so I'm gonna fast forward too. So before I fast forward that moment, Heavenly brings up to her son, okay, well, I know Anila, who is Indian, and I'm guessing we pull up a conversation, production does, of them discussing race at Dr. Heavenly's husband's birthday party, saying that, oh, like, we're the same, like, Indians and black people, we're both people of color. And then Heavenly, of course, said, well, no, we're both people of color, but it's a different experience. And I get that. I will say this is an interesting storyline to have with Anila being on this show and saying that, well, you know, we are both people of color, but please don't co-opt Black Lives Matter because, you know, we're working on Black lives. I'm wondering how they got on that topic to begin with. So she's basically asking her son, how can she tell Anila without being offensive? Basically saying like how all lives can't matter until Black lives matter too. So next thing we're with Anila and she's talking to Dr. Contessa and she just wants to have a one-on-one with her after how the dinner that she was at went left between her and Toya and her mom. So Anila's telling Contessa that she was just trying to fix things, and Contessa's like, well, leave me and Toya between me and Toya. We don't need you to come in and fix it because you don't really know me to put yourself in the middle because you're not going to vouch for me. You're going to vouch for Toya. So I get that point. Like, trying to build a relationship with the other ladies, you know? Oh no, girl. Really, Anila? So is it Anila or Anila? I'm gonna say Anila. So Anila just told Contessa that you kind of threatened my mom. Roll back the tape. So what I remember is your mom was grabbing on Contessa, telling her not to go. And Contessa politely asked your mom 3 times, more than 3, but on the 3rd time she said, well, I'm pretty strong, so I'm gonna need you to let go because I will snatch back. Her mom still did not let go. So yeah, let's not use that word threaten. And thank you, production, for rolling that beautiful bean footage. Like, this woman is literally yanking on Contessa's arm right now. Well, Anila tries to throw out the culture card on Contessa. It's like, well, you know, just in our culture, you know, she just wants you to sit down. And then Contessa throws out her culture card like the big joker and says, well, in my culture, you keep your hands to yourself. And I agree. But then Contessa does tell Anila, like, you know, I'm sorry if I offended your mom, but it definitely wasn't like that. And it looks like the two of them are good right now. So it's the day of the adults versus the kids basketball game. They're going to Heavenly's place, which is in Conyers. Ooh, that is way out there in Atlanta. I'm glad most of these ladies aren't on Real Housewives of Atlanta because none of them actually are in Atlanta. Well, most of them. Like Alpharetta and Conyers, Jesus, that is out there in Georgia. But anywho, Simone says that she invited Dr. Jackie, but unfortunately Jackie had to work, and she's asking if her husband can come because her husband has seen her kid play basketball like since he was in elementary school. Yeah, I really can't believe that Simone has become friends with Heavenly before she got friends with Jackie again. It's just not making sense. That's why I'm like, is this real? Are they just playing with us? So everybody is arriving. Anila and her husband, her kids come. Jackie's husband, Curtis, actually comes to support. And here comes Toya as well with her family. Heavenly and these confessional reads. Like, I can't even be mad. It's funny. So Contessa arrives and I just know the way Toya's reacting to Anila saying that she talked to Contessa earlier in the week that there's gonna be a problem later. Anila again getting in between Toya and Contessa. Why did you even bring that up to Toya knowing how Toya is? She literally just told Toya that Contessa was talking about her, which did not happen. Anila might know what she's doing. So the part 2 game between the kids and adults start. It looks like the kids are whooping the adults' ass right now. They're going to 15. Right now it is 7-11 with the kids leading. So apparently the game is over because Dr. Heavenly adjusted the score and they just started going by that. I am so confused. I could have just been playing Best Fiends during this. Alright, so now that waste of time game is over, all the kids leave as well as the husbands, and then we're left with the main cast members. Oh my goodness, why is Heavenly coming for Anila like that? So Anila tells her husband, oh, can you take the kids upstairs? And then Heavenly just blurts out, oh, I mean, he the doctor, you supposed to get the kids. That's your job. Excuse me? Why? And everyone just looks at her like, wow, you really just telling this woman this? And Simone reminds us that Heavenly is not always nice to the new cast member, and production reminds us that she's done this for plenty seasons. So yeah, Heavenly is quite the bully. She thinks just because she got that stomach staple that she can just treat anybody any type of way that she wants. Now I will say Dr. Heavenly's work does look good, but she is still mean and ugly on the inside. Anywho, Anila tries to tell Heavenly, well, you know, when two people work, and she's like, oh, well, you work? Anila's like, yes, I'm a blogger. And she was like, oh, that's work? Yes, Heavenly, it is work, okay? She gets a kick out of telling people they are broke. Heavenly is that type of woman that likes to shame housewives, that decide to not have a career and focus on the kids. So Toya then checks Heavenly because she's just being too shady right now. Not only did she shade her friend, but now she asks Toya, why don't you blog? Like, I'm on Toya's side with this one. Heavenly was just being mean for no reason. And then Toya tells Heavenly, well, you know, you is kind of copying off of me too, sis. Like, you got a 3-story closet too, and a fireplace. And it's getting louder, Heavenly getting hot. So now they're going after each other's houses. And then Heavenly was like, well, you know, I heard from Quad how you got your house. Contessa just left the situation. She's tired. She's hanging with the men right now while they're outside yelling at each other. So Anila brings up the Heavenly, well, let's talk about blogging because basically you're trying to insult me right now. And then Heavenly is trying to double down on her and say, oh, let's talk about Black Lives Matter. Oh, man. So that whole scene with your son was for nothing. What's for nothing? You don't really care about this woman. Okay, so I talk about Toya a lot, but in this case, I'm glad that she's sticking up for her friend. Do not try to come for her friend on some Black Lives Matter, because we already know where this is going. Toya said, pick on somebody your own size. All right, Toya. Can you believe Simone is in the middle now trying to diffuse a situation when just 2 episodes ago her and Heavenly got into it? And now we have the juxtaposition of the husbands just getting along, cheers, drinking together, and the women shouting at each other and throwing insults. Yeah, what Heavenly's bringing up is just very divisive. I'm pretty sure Anila didn't feel that way. She just wanted to say, like, as a person of color, I feel your pain. You know, I get discriminated against too. We're all in the same boat. Now, that can be debatable, but I believe that Anila's intentions were good. And now Heavenly's trying to throw that in her face now. So Toya pulls her friend Anila away from the situation with Heavenly, and they're just yelling at each other while they're leaving. Heavenly is trying to throw every insult that she can, hoping it lands on Toya. And yeah, that's how the episode ends. So a couple things I got from this episode. Is Jackie just gonna be at work all the time? She's not gonna film with the ladies? Because I prefer all of them together. I'm not sure why Contessa is always walking away from the drama. I mean, you signed up for this and they put her ass in the middle. Toya versus Heavenly. I definitely am on Toya's side. I don't really care for Toya, but in this situation, she was right. Heavenly was definitely being a bully. I also thought that how Heavenly tried to set up Anila with Black Lives Matter, trying to insult her, was very vicious. And yeah, it really does look like Heavenly is jealous of Toya secretly. It just really annoys me when Dr. Heavenly tries to shame women who decide to stay home and be moms. That stomach staple or tummy tuck really got to her head. And that sinking skin on her face, she needs to do something about that. She might need to hit up Anila's husband to help correct that. But anywho, those are my thoughts for this episode. Let me know what you think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Oh, God, I got so much TV to catch up on, y'all. Oh, my goodness. But yeah, that's all for me. Bye.